Wow, the game gave me a perfect route home. Into the harem of ardent dreams we go.
Godspeed.
As she knows you, Shamir gives you a displeasured frown and irritably asks, "You again? Have you no friends that you must keep coming here to chat with me? Or perhaps you, though I find this extremely hard to believe. You're not completely have something for me. I've completed your tasks." Shamir ignores you, looking elsewhere, but in your mind you hear her angry hiss. "So speak if you have, but use your mind instead of your flapping lips, your mind. I know that you have done too much to win her favor, but my heart tells me that helping her would lead to evil. Forget everything I've told you. We'll find another way to complete our mission. It is wrong to fight evil by increasing the power of another evil. Reject the promise of ardent dreams, and we'll leave this place before we betray our ideals." "I do not serve you and I'll not tell you anything." Shamir gives you a venomous smile, and you can read your sentence in her eyes. "That's right, you don't serve me. You're an outsider, and by Noctilu's will, no one can lay a finger on you. But who will stop me?" Magic crashes over your will. With a bit of effort, you manage to force Shamir out of your mind. An angry smile, a grimace contorts her face. "Hey, that can't break me." Brings more force to bear against you. A vein pulls on her temple. Damn. In the heat of the magic, your mind melts like wax. Your knowledge of the energy crystal surfaces a demon strips out of your memories as efficiently and ruthlessly as a hunter just gain a carcass. Suddenly, the heat subsides, banished by a gust of mountain wind and cool and clear. The key hand of the inheritor's voice thunders inside your head. "Hold on, champion. Together we will overpower the magic of this fiend. Fight to the end. Keep working. It won't work." "Stop wearing. Shamira, unleash all her power on you. You'll regret that, you little son of a bitch. You refuse to talk. So be it. I'll rip everything you know out of your mind." The heat of magic, your mind melts like wax. Knowledge of the crystals. Finally, she smiles at me. "I've learned everything I need. Now get out." The demons in the crowd murmur and exchange whispers. You hear disappointment in their voices. It seems most of them wish you to emerge victorious from the confrontation. But the arrogant Shamira, whom no one has ever humbled in a long time, look at you with respect, even fear. After all, they would have never dared contradict the ruler of the harem. One demon covertly gives you a thumbs up and then points to Shamira and makes an obscene gesture indicating her wanton ways. Let me guess, that counts as a failure?
Let us press on.
You are most curious, mortal.
Or rather intriguing yourself.
There's a reason they call me Nocticula, the Lady in Shadow. My words and thoughts are shrouded in darkness.
You're a soft chuckle in response. I take it I finally have your attention.
Yes, your arrival in Alashanira was quite impressive. Rumors have reached me even here, behind my locked gates and my wall of valiant guards. Rumors of a remarkable Galarian taking my Alashanira by storm.
I am asking for an audience.
You have my permission to enter the palace. Go there and wait. I will arrive when the time is right. Until then, you will be taken care of by one of my servants.
Well, Woljith, I'm sorry to say this, but I'm gonna have to kick you. Actually, no, I'm gonna kick Ridge. No, I'm gonna kick Woljith out of the party. So we're gonna go. We're going to go all the way back to the Nexus, pick up Ember, because for some reason Ember wants to meet her, and who am I if I'm not a guy who likes to make sure my companions are want for nothing? But this should be the end. Praise be the Abyss. Now, I like to do every quest, but I'm actually leaving this quest because I think it'll be better for an evil playthrough. So Wooljiff out, Ember in. Boy, before we take Ember, give the girl a level up. Of Aura of Purity. Oh, that's as good as that spell is. The problem with that spell is it hits me, and I like not being hurt. I agree, Bob, though. That bitch was a bitch. Not getting hurt, bitch. Oh no, we have a pain kink. Who has a pain kink? Why do I have Cone of Despair? Oh, because of that bitch. Ooh, no way. He's already got a different dagger. We're not gonna go buy those daggers. Nah, I don't have a pain kink, luckily. Probably wait out my effect of the current of Crushing Despair.
I will not falter.
I cannot skip time. Interesting. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait. We'll literally just have to wait. How long is it? Oh, 3 hours.
Welcome your company. Together we stand.
Ugh, the waiting's never fun.
You know what? We're gonna go rest in the story. Actually, no, fuck it. No, yeah, we're gonna go rest in the storyteller's thing. Okay, we can't just wait at the moment, so I'm gonna have to go rest in the tower. It's unfortunate because I'm not gonna be able to make the screaming. Actually, no, we've got Nenio with us. We can probably make the screaming omelet. It's okay. Make sure I'm completely safe here. Let's rest. I can do just fine at that, thank you. You can cook the food.
By the way, did you know that the amount of money in an individual's possession is directly proportional to the number of secrets that individual is hiding?
A most intriguing observation. I say, let's try to guess the secrets my cousin Galfrey is hiding.
Cool. The food worked. We just failed to weaken the shit. Which, let me guess, is going to be pretty fucking high given that we're in the abyss.
We march ahead.
Alright, now we just go to Nocticula. Nocticula. I don't know why I pronounce names so poorly. I guess I just have to hear them before I pronounce them for some reason. I want to go in. Our lady orders us not to bar your way.
A success worthy of
The ink on the
praise.
page is still wet. The book tells of murderous massacre committed by the Lydian Shadow among the Colossus demons of the Midnight Hours. It seems to happen quite recently.
I will guide us.
Tall shelves are stuffed with countless books and scrolls praising the Lydian Shadow's many deeds. Some tomes are old and they're threadbare. Others are new and in mint condition.
Godspeed.
It went splendidly.
The Lydian Shadow's library is called Vault of Graves. It contains a biography of everyone whose life Nocticula has ever taken, and her victims are innumerable. Innumerable.
Press on.
Ooh. Oh shit, we don't have land with we don't have our thief with us.
Useful to you.
Which means we're gonna have to use lockpicks more often.
I finished here. Is there more?
I knew there was a reason we kept fucking Lan. Oh, not Lan, Woljif with us.
Something is not right here.
Ooh. Use. The letters written by the hand of Ruli Vlaresh appear to have life of their own, a moment's inattention, and they begin to disperse, changing shape and moving towards the edge of the page as they're planning to leap off. Focus on the text. Samael's attention focused on a couple of words that seem to have only just swapped places. The words freeze as if they never moved at all. But out of the corner of his eye, the commander sees several words, and the other pages begin to discrete game of leapfrog. Set the Lexicon of Paradox aside. As you know, my dear addresser, given the scope of the plane, the time is a relative concept, and the abyss, it can be even more unreliable. Therefore, I do not allow myself the vain hope the message will reach you in time. Your final question was about the possibility of a complete awakening of the memories of a mortal life when a soul that has already passed through Pharasma's judgment. I was into the research on all the cases of which I'm aware where such an awakening took place.
We march
Okay, it seems to me pressing enter at that time was really just a coincidence. We wait. Despite the fact this list is quite extensive, my conclusions is that all such recorded cases are the rarest exceptions to the rule. With the absolute majority of souls, an occurrence such as this cannot happen. Both the wonder and the tragedy of mortality lie in the fact there are certain moments in which the process is final and irreversible. The essence that departs from the judgment of the Lady of the Graves is no longer what it was in life, and we as scientists must account for this and the system knowing we are constructing. System of knowledge we are constructing. Sorry about that. If I sound far away, it's because I'm currently trying to put my fan on. There we go. I didn't mean to play it again. Fuck that. I meant to try and nick it, but alright.
Greetings.
A stately shadow comes towards you. In its hands, a small mirror sparkles and shimmers with unsettling light.
Lady Arilu, allow me to express my deepest admiration of your work, and may I just ask...
Under Arilu's imperious gaze, Nino stutters and awkwardly falls silent. Fancy seeing you here. I have a lot of questions for you.
You are looking for answers. That's good. That is why I am here. I have much to tell you.
End of a smile dances across Arilu's lips.
You have walked a long path, one where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers. At least, some of them.
Arilu lifts her mirror and you fall into its cold, shimmering depths. What a bitch.
Day 16, Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of a Nehindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result, The essence will coalesce with the subject soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action. You are my creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Aurelius stares at you, her gaze unrelenting, probing. The witch is silent for a long time. When she speaks, her voice is unreadable, betraying no emotion. Let's say I believe you. Why did you need me to do all this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
The unseen angel does not speak, but his silence seems to thunder in your ears.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkaneth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nahindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the Lexicon of Paradox in my old laboratory, and ordered the suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands. But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Kenabres with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies.
As if to confirm her words, blood begins to seep from the wound on your chest. Eerie flames seem to dance within the crimson drops.
This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength, and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it. Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Kenabres.
Not going to work. You need to tell me everything first.
Very well, then. Ask your questions, and I will answer.
What is this wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the Worldwound in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the Worldwound is healed. No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the Worldwound is healed, you will have no peace.
You followed me.
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. I am pleased to see that you still wear them. I enchanted them specially to protect you from danger. I am glad you found my gift useful.
Aurelius's eyes dropped to your braces, the one inscribed with your name.
Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Kenabres. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
It turns out you helped me thwart the plans of your masters, Baphomet and Deskari.
They are not my masters. They are a resource.
Why was that whole ploy of the lab necessary? You even sacrificed your servant, the Sutra, for it.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Sutra was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands. And that is why I was willing to risk his life.
Speaking of the Sutra, he's currently been held captive by Hepsamira. I saw her buy him at the flesh markets.
I don't understand why you felt the need to tell me that.
It'd been better if you just told me everything instead of playing mind games.
Knowledge gained independently through research and experimentation is far more valuable than knowledge that is simply given. That is why I wanted you to go to the laboratory yourself. I just gave you a nudge in the right direction.
Tell me about the Nahidrian crystals. Start from the beginning.
Nahidrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the Abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nahidrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles. Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Deskari's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Kenabres. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time. A very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nahidrian crystals. Although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
You figured out how to use the crystals to imbue living creatures with power.
Not just any creatures. Demons. And half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
Valuable information. The Order will be interested to learn this.
I'm not a demon.
I wasn't a demon either when I started. But there are always ways to circumvent, or even to override the laws of the universe.
Rilu's eyes grow distant for a moment.
I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Deskari's attack on Kenabres? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the Worldwound, whom they so revile.
It's strange to see you in here in Nocticula's palace. Who do you serve really, Deskari, Baphomet?
Both. And neither. I have served both Deskari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
Rilu's tone is indifferent as she informs you of this, as if she were simply commenting on the weather rather than her obstinance before demon lords. My power is different from that of Jeribes, Nilkenefs, and the other demons.
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Deskari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the Demon Lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water, but it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen. You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
Really gives you an appraising look. But what I want to know is this: what do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
Really nods at the glowing essence. I will not refuse this power, but I will decide how to use it. You touch the essence, and the power, so familiar and clear, flows through you like a river. The power that courses through you is so immense, the wound on your chest closes up as if it had never existed.
Now you know. You truly know.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation.
The voice of the Hand of the Inheritor thunders beside you. It really does not move, seemingly unaware of his presence.
Away! Away from this festering hole! I must bring this terrible truth to Queen Galfrey, and save those who can be saved from this darkness.
The angel's voice fades, and you can no longer feel his presence. He has disappeared.
I want to help you close the world wound.
It really looks at you for a while, then speaks. Aurelia's words are cut off by a quiet laugh. Sitting on the throne that was empty just a moment ago is none other than Nocticula, ruler of Alushinra and the Midnight Isles, a powerful demon lord, and the one they call Our Lady in Shadow. Her red lips curl into an ironic smile, and her large eyes observe you with keen interest.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Aurelu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now I am convinced that he is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward him with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which he is about to take part.
Greetings to you, Our Lady in Shadow.
Erishale swiftly drops to one knee and bows her head.
It's nice to see that even surrounded by mortals, you haven't forgotten who your mistress is, Arushale. You may rise.
Nocticula nods casually in the succubus's direction.
I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it.
Erishale stands up awkwardly and looks at Nocticula first, then at you with a stunned expression. Please allow me to greet you, great ruler of the Midnight Isles.
Your manner does not lack courtesy. That is to be commended. I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Alashanira, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nehindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
Nocticula's tone is casual, but her eyes are intense, scrutinizing you. You're able to see the Hand of the Inheritor despite all his enchantments.
The herald of that upstart goddess. Here.
Aurelu tilts her head slightly.
Yes, Although his defenses were quite intricate, a commendable precaution on his part, as word of the hand of the Inheritor descending once more into the abyss reached the Echo of Deskari almost immediately. Mind you, vindictiveness and guile have always been among his best qualities.
Mendev the Inheritor told me that his magic deceived the eyes of all evil spawn of the abyss, but not yours.
Perhaps you don't know everything about me yet, mortal. Perhaps you made the same mistake as many before you, and many who are more insightful and more powerful than you, by presuming to know what to expect from the Lady in Shadow.
Gives you a smile, a pleased and mysterious smile. Tell me about the Echo of Deskari.
He is a strange creature, a bespoke creation, so to speak. Long before the Worldwound was opened, Deskari, that little cricket, was seeking a way to have some fun on Galarian and assert his influence there. One day, he decided to gather a few strong mortal followers, fuse them together into one being, and pump that being full of his own power, in the belief that something worthwhile would come of it. That is how the Echo came to be. To the great dismay of both the Echo and the Lord of Crickets, the Echo was greeted by Eredin, protector of humankind. Eredin gave the Echo such a thorough thrashing, the whole abyss thought him dead. And yet he was not. Cricket, the younger, is alive and well, though I cannot say the same for Eredin. But the Echo remembers his humiliation still. He hates anything and everything related to Eredin, especially his inheritor, Ayomide. Her heralds, her priests, her temples. He would hate Ayomide's pet pug, if she had one.
Why does the Echo of Deskari prey upon the hand of the Inheritor?
Envy, humiliation, ego. The usual playthings of little boys from all planes and realities. The Echo suffered more than one defeat. First at Eredin's hand, then under the onslaught of the forces of heaven. Those routes taught him to attack his enemies by stealth, boldly and often, killing and crippling anyone close to the light-bringing goddess. Now, it seems, he has decided the time has come. The Herald of Ayomide himself is in the abyss alone, without a retinue of lesser angels. He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Ayomide, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not?
The conversation is interrupted by a concerned-looking succubus who silently approaches Nocticula and then begins fervently whispering into her ear. Nocticula's expression turns hard and cold. Like Nocticula ponders the new development, the messenger makes eyes at you playfully. You recognize those green eyes, except they were awash with pain when you last saw them, their owner bleeding out in the caverns of the Nexus. Succubus smiles and slyly gives you a wink. There is steel in Nocticula's words. Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sister and tell them to prepare. Nocticula sends the green-eyed servant away and turns to face you once again. That green-eyed succubus, I know her. Yes, you've already met Lyolif, my talented assistant. I've heard that she was very convincing at acting out her tragic death in the minds of the Nexus. As you can see, I've been watching you since your very first moment in the Abyss, and even a little earlier. I value servants such as Lyolif. You stayed in character even when you had decided to finish her off. Your merciful decision has left a lovely scar on her beautiful body. I prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the Worldwound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue. You know, just before we get there, my companion Ember would like to speak with you. Ember, that's her then. Well, approach. Cocking an eyebrow, Nocticula looks down at her. I've heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me in such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent, renounce my status as Demon Lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this? Tears are rolling down Ember's cheeks as she sniffles noisily. She presses her main hand against her heart, As she stares up to Nocticula, her fragile form shudders from weeping. Maru wrinkles her nose in disdain. Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is Alushinra, not Nirasan. We don't give alms here. Nocticula throws a disgusted look at the crying girl. I can't even stand these noises. You think you're the first to try and move with such a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly. Ember wipes her face with her sleeve. I know what you had to do, to others and to yourself. I'm sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow, calm your sorrows. He believes that deep down, everyone is good, even creatures that are evil by nature. I don't know what nature is, and don't care a whim about its cosmic good and evil. These are but labels thought up by philosophers. I know what power is, pleasure, desire. All this childish babble merely amuses me, nothing more. Where were we? My pain, my sorrows? What nonsense were you talking? You tell me you pity me. After taking a trembling breath, Ember wipes her tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive, people devoured by monsters, people burying their children. They were in pain, so much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you. What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat? I've seen your city. You are the one who built it. Is it the way you wanted it to be? It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in the city is suffering. All the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel? Nicola's lips curl in distaste. And this is what you brought here to me for? You think this infertile sniveling is worthy of my attention? I've seen the truth of her wisdom more than once. Perhaps it would benefit you to listen to her as well. As if I haven't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. She stares at Ember with a straight face. So what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good god's forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon? No, gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals, silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost a goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you. Save me from what exactly? From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen, Ember's voice rings desperately. You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You can do anything you want, so why don't you make yourself happy? You could become a Redeemer Queen. Sitting in her bed, Nocticula explodes with wild laughter. Her body is shaking and she doubles over, slapping her thighs with her palms. When she is finally done laughing, she catches her breath. The Redeemer Queen? That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Whew. She wipes her tears from her eyes. Well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight. I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool. Upon giving Nocticula one last smile, Ember ducks behind your back. You hear her whispering. Do you think she took my words to heart? Who knows? I suppose you're right. We'll see what happens. I told you to get out. I don't want you to hear your squawks, squeaky voice again. Did you really create me? You certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Lady Waresh designed the Worldwound, a magical phenomenon of unfathomable power. To seal it, we require a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we require a champion, and she chose you. With your powers and that wound in your chest were the result of her experiments. When she infused your soul with the essence of the Abyss, of course, you remembered none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the powers granted to you was purified, to the extent that it was impossible that you would not guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of the Nahandran crystals. These energies are necessary for the task at hand. Everything that will happen to you is part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you here and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you have followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. But one can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price, says Aurelie quickly. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool who we could fling into the flames of the Worldwound and close it like any lesser rift. I think you should know that. Nocticula gives a sudden gesture, cutting Aurelie off. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened him with enough revelations for now. Give him time to become accustomed to the truth about himself. Then you can share all the details. I wish to inform you of treason. Nocticula looks amused. Is that so? Who is it you decide to inform on? And more importantly, how do you learn of these traitors and how incredible are these accusations? Jamira is researching the hinging crystals in secret. Perhaps she is planning to overthrow you. A smile appears on Nocticula's lips. How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I do wonder, however. Did you really think I was unaware of this, or did you merely want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I'll take this as proof I can rely on you. You're very astute to uncover Ashimira's desire to dethrone me. And it was particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets in the engine crystal. I suppose your caution calls for reward. At the snap of Nauticula's fingers, one of the servants approaches you and presents you with a delicate package wrapped in gossamer-like silk. Mining the 100 crystals is a surefire way to sink the island the crystals are on to the bottom of the Lishar. I assumed you understand why all those who attempt to procure them on Alinthia were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamira about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the ardent dream burrowing under my capital. Why do you tolerate her? Someone has to deal with the trivial matters. Shamira's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just as the foreigners before her. The second always dreams of rising to be first. I know the feeling well. A friend of mine, the storyteller, peered into the future. In his visions, Hapsamira was sending demons after you. The demons were strengthened by 100 crystals. A hint of dangerous excitement creeps into her voice. You are in font of knowledge, my dear guest. Let's just say I'm not surprised by her appetites, the ambitions of that brat, or her lecherous goat of a sire. We're bound to surface sooner or later, but your warning will encourage me to keep a closer eye on her. You could have gone to Hepsavira with this and received your payment for your silence. Your foresight must not go unrewarded. I've said everyone wanted to say. I killed Wooladish, your court mage. Heathcliff shows no hint of sadness. I'm aware of this, of course. It was lamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him impeccably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. What exactly are you offering me? I'm offering you the chance to become my weapon. I may not know the reasons why Gallifrey sent you into the abyss, but I know how I can use your crusade to our mutual benefit. Your enemies are a thorn in my side as well as yours. What's more, I have never schemed against Galarian, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest of your plane. At least not at my behest. There is no cause for enmity between us. Why would you want to close the wound? When the wound opened, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it into a crossroads of worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels could meet. The wound was a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas. But the Midnight Isles were not only the realm that had been linked to Galarian through the wound. Deskari and Baphomet now also had a way from their realms into your plane. The servants flooded my island and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests who were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by their lust to conquer and enslave, whether on Galarian or in another abyssal realm. I was forced to shift my focus and express my discontent. Eventually, atop the bones of our servants, we reached an accord. I would let their armies pass, and they would comply with my wishes while on my islands. Of course, the accord is a polite fiction. With Deskari, the Baphomets are attempting to amass their power and influence in El Shinra to overthrow me. When they think I'm not watching, they break my taboos and revel in their own impudence. And worst of all, Lady Voresh told them about the Nahandrian crystals. They realized what kind of power the crystals hold, and now they've determined to mine every last deposit hidden within my islands. And once an island loses its crystals, it becomes nothing but flotsam, slowly sinking into the dark waters of Ishar. If every lost island my power is diminished, I could start a war and kill the plunderers, but a major conflict would hinder some of my other plans. So instead, I will teach my neighbors a lesson by orchestrating their ignominious defeat at the hand of a mortal. You're so powerful, why do you need me? If I were to make a move myself, it would start a war. Not that I'm afraid of doing so, but it would hamper my more important plans. Baphomet and Deskari could never best me, but they could sow enough chaos and spill enough blood that the visitors from other planes would shudder at the mention of Alushinra. No, I will wage war on my own terms, in the shadows, and I will remain unseen until I drive a blade into my enemy's back. And since Gallifrey happened to send you to my realm, you have the honor of becoming my blade, mortal. Be glad you are wielded by skillful hands. We should also reveal how exactly our blade will be employed. Nicholas silences Irilu with a sharp gesture. We can discuss the details later, when the moment is right. Now is not the time for such idle conversation. How exactly do you plan to close the Worldwound? She rolls her eyes. It's a complicated magical process. You will receive precise instructions once you've captured the Threshold Forges on Galarian. There at the exact spot where Lady Voresh opened the Worldwound, you'll be able to close it. But first you'll have to crush the Guardians of the Threshold, and their forces are growing by the day. Hepsamira, Baphomet's daughter, is mining a large number of Nahendran crystals in my realm. These crystals are a secret weapon. No army on Galarian can stand against them. You must stop her. If you do not, your world will fall and my plans will suffer significant harm. At one time, I disclosed the secret of transformation to two servants of Baphomet and Deskari, Zanvir Vang and Mustafen. It was a well-calculated gambit which brought us to the time and assured both Deskari and Baphomet my loyalty. Mutasafin is Hepsamira's favorite. He oversaw the transformation of her army. Hepsamira is currently on another island from here. The route to the place is plagued by pirates, monsters, tempests, and other more significant, more terrifying dangers. Have you heard of the living bubbles of frozen time that swallow airships, and when their ships reach port, their crews discover that they have been gone for 100 years? That is not the strangest occurrence you could encounter on your journey. I'm willing to provide you a decent ship and an experienced crew. If you kill Hepsamira, it will stop her sinking any more of my islands, without giving her Baphomet to declare war on me. You cast a sidelong glance at Arushale. Then again, I'm not offering you anything new, as you're already enjoying my favor, Commander. Your companion is a succubus, and I am the succubus queen. This demon follows you around only because I allow it. Tell me, Arushale, are you grateful that I am not forbidding you from traveling with a commander and fighting against your own kind? Succubus reluctantly lowers her head. You are incredibly generous, Our Lady in Shadow. We're clearly being manipulated to serving as a tool in an intrigue we cannot fully evaluate. Given that we lack complete information, it would be tempting to make a use of her resources. But that's what bait is trap is. That's what bait in a trap is supposed to be. Tempting. Why is it so important to kill her? Deskari and Baphomet won't stand there and watch you close the Worldwound. They'll send their armies after you. So you will need an army of your own, and that is something the Crusaders won't have for long. Hepsamira is mining more and more Nahedran crystals to empower her forces so that when she attacks Galarian, if you don't stop her, the Crusaders' resistance will be crushed, and the ranks of demon pouring through the Worldwound into your world will be multiplied by 100-fold. You were sent here to cut off the demon's supply of Nahedran crystals, weren't you? Well, that's exactly what you're going to accomplish. I will consider your offer, Lady in Shadow. And accept it, I'm sure. I respect your caution, and I won't force you into submission. We all stand to gain if you do my bidding of your own volition. A glimmer of approval dances in Nocticula's eyes. An interesting destiny lies before you, mortal. You will rise to great heights and play a great part in my titanic events of titanic proportions. Many would give their life for a chance to tread such a path. Hepsamira visits Alushinra every now and then, but her true lair is far from here. She hides on the island of Kolfiri, the northwest of my archipelago. There lies her secret fortress, in the deep mines of her slaves dug. Dig Nahedran crystals for the invading army she plans to bring to Galarian. I will give you a decent ship and an experienced crew to take you there. It will be a long and perilous journey. Take some time to prepare. I'm ready to depart. If I am to depart for Kahir, your guards must watch over my camp in the next and allow all who are residing there. I'll send my assassin to assure that no harm comes to your entourage. Be grateful for my patronage, mortal. I'll talk about the powerful denizens of the Abyss. Are you interested in one of my servants, or do you wish to tell me someone about your enemies? What is your relationship with Ruli? It works for me, isn't it obvious? Lady Vorlesh is very talented. Maybe the most brilliant and capable mind ever to come from your plane, and the guile she used to betray one Demon Lord Master after another impressed me so much that I offered her the position of my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Vorlesh. I plan to keep it a secret for a while longer. Betrayal is too strong a word. I opened the path for Galarian for those two, and I told them to have to extract from the Nahedran crystals. That will suffice. Does it bother you she suffers another master? She smiles deviously. I'm not prone to jealousy. Let Deskari think Lady Vorlesh serves him still. His bugged brain seems incapable of sensing betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled Deskari that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right under his snout. In truth, Lady Vorlesh's loyalty is mine alone. Loyalty is for fools, shared interest, that is what rational minds rely upon. That and fear. No one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadows. How did she become your servant? When the Worldwound was first opened, it only led to Deskari's realm. But then, when there was another, more powerful breach, the wound expanded and its path now passed through my realm and Baphomet as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Isles were soon overrun with angels from my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, burrowing greedily into my rocks, stealing the crystals. The main culprit was one Aurelie Voresh. She was one who discovered the energies of the Nahedran crystals. I'd captured her and was about to carry out her agonizing execution when Lady Voresh offered me something I desire even more than her death. Into my service, and her main task since then has been to close the Worldwound. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and Deskari, and their slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my island with such ease. you remember the elven archbishop who you used to serve you thousands of years ago? He's still alive. We know each other. Really? He was well past his youth even back then, and now, just as old as he is. How old is he? Can mortals even live that long? Well, apart from your immortal Azalanti. Say hello to him on behalf of the Lady in Shadow, and tell him that the one who replaced him has disappointed me immensely with his incompetence. No matter how hard he tried, he could never live up to my magnificent elf. You know, you've managed to surprise me, a rare occurrence for someone who knows just about everything. With a bit of her eyelashes, Nocticula sent you a piercing glaze, one that feels like it's delving into the deepest corners of your soul. Are Baphomet and Deskari your allies? The Goat and the Locust. Allies is too strong a word for our relationship. Our connection was forged by circumstance, not a desire to deal with each other. When the Worldwound opened, it tied your world to our realms. I did not join my armies with theirs, and I was forced to make a peace with them, as not get bogged down in a tiring and distracting war. If I had the opportunity, I would have met them on my terms and expanded my territories at their expense. Nocticula indulges herself with a thin smile. Unfortunately, this is not currently possible. By the way, one of them came to me with the offer of an atrocious alliance that involved conceiving little ones together. I'm still contemplating the specifics of my refusal. It needs to be clear and unambiguous. Her ensuing laughter is deep and musical, about almost enchanting. Everything is clear to me now. Gives you a mysterious smile. I have some business to take care of. Really, you're no longer needed here. As you will, my lady. She vanishes, but you take notice look in her eyes, pensive and appraising. Nocticula casts a piercing glaze at the spot where it really was but a moment ago, then stops you with a commanding gesture. There's one more thing we must discuss, the Lexicon of Paradox. Lady Varesh's magical treatise that contain many secrets of the Worldwound. You and my servant, Lady Varesh, were just talking about the Lexicon of Paradox. For many years it has remained split in half, harmless. But what was once divided can be made whole again. Who knows what power the book could plant its owner? What if they expand to the Worldwound even further? Or connect it to other planes? Not a chance. The Lexicon of Paradox has caused more than enough trouble already. You already possess the first half of the book. Find the other one and bring them both to me. I will reward you handsomely. Giving the book into my keeping will protect Golarion from suffering a second Worldwound disaster. The Lexicon of Paradox will be much safer under my watchful eye than in your travel bags. Wouldn't you agree? The Lord of the Abyss wants a book to hold that holds the secret to opening of the Worldwound. All the best intentions, I'm sure. Rachel frowns deepen. I expect all that alive from the Lady in Shadows. This one won't do. I'll consider your offer. The reward will not disappoint you, I promise. The dangerous knowledge ought to be locked up. Surely, I won't keep you any longer. I have some business to take care of. You have taken a liking to my city, I see. Well then, savor it to the fullest, and then come back for truly important business. Her lips part in a smile, both predatory and alluring. And I have leveled up. Another mythic.